I'm over here kind of, reading the chat as it comes up. And one thing people are trying to figure out, what does that mean, slave teeth? What he's saying is that I'm hoping dead, but we don't know that teeth were literally taken off of slaves and given to a more important person, George Washington. That's what that was. They took the teeth off the slaves, said, y'all need this, not as much as George Washington. He didn't take care of his, but we're gonna take your nice healthy ones and give to him. So that's what that means, that it was taken from the slaves at the time, his slaves, I'm supposing. I don't know. And also, I think what happens is, and I want to caution a lot of people on here, I'm not afraid of y'all. This is who I am. I'm speaking to it straight, because there's a lot of people that use our faith and use our binding as God's children. We are primarily God's children. We are first believers before we are, anything else. But that still does not change the fact that on a human level, we want to make sure that we tell the full story, that we hold people accountable. We hold historic figures accountable, but we also help each other repair the image that has been created for our people. Yeah. I think people forget that. I think people forget that so much of what our people, all of your brothers and sisters, so much of what we deal with is not just godly people. No, we deal with life. And so to say, oh, well, if you just sit with us, we only care that you love the Lord. Unfortunately, that's only a few hours out of the week, maybe. The rest of it, we are walking through a world that looks at us differently. Imagine if your favorites, your Naomis, your Joels, your Dantes, your Chandlers, your Jonathans, when we're singing in front of all of our wonderful Christians, oh yeah, everything's great. I don't need to worry about discrimination maybe so much in that world, but literally almost every other step of my life, I do. And so to tell me, well, if you love the Lord, then it don't matter. Yeah, except nobody else does, except us. And so I think people have to be really, you border on being very dismissive. You border on being almost hateful, because remember, if you knew your history, faith has been the number one way they gaslit the Black community. It's been the number one way they manipulate and control the Black community. So please be careful when that's the first thing you think of. Hey, what you talking about being Black for? The problem is we're talking about being Black is because everywhere else we go, except at a Mav or a Jonathan McReynolds concert, we absolutely are treated or seen differently. And so I just really want everybody to understand. I know everybody's not always trying to be mean about it, because we know that, the most important thing about us is that we are God's. But still, there is movement that can take place because of the power of God, because of the love that we show to each other. And love does not just act like your identity doesn't matter. It doesn't act like what you care about doesn't matter. That's not love.